I am thrilled at the progress that the campaign has made in the last 10 months, but I think there is no certainty in this election or in any election, and I'm just going to keep working as hard as I can. I feel very good about the progress that I've made in Iowa. One of our challenges is it appears to me, I've never having done it before, I'm not at all expert on it, but it seems like there's growing interest in participation. I mean, I have seen more and more people at my events this last 4 days who are excited about it, wanting to know what to do about it. I've had 5 people in the last 4 days tell me they've never voted before, and they're hoping to be involved. So I think there's a kind of a growing momentum, not just for me, but for the process that is very exciting. Well, I'm running on 4 goals for America. One is to restore America's leadership around the world. Secondly, to rebuild a strong and prosperous middle class. Third, to reform our government. And fourth, to reclaim the future for our children. And under each of those goals, I have very specific policies. Part of what I'm arguing is Americans need to start acting like Americans again. We are problem solvers. We are not ideologues. We have been trapped in these false choices, living in what the Bush administration has tried to create, an evidence-free zone, where we're not looking at the facts. We're engaged in sort of partisan divisiveness, and we need to start doing what previous generations of both American leaders and American citizens did, and I think energy and the environment provide the perfect platform to do that. Well, the fact is that when we first had an occasion to vote on ethanol back in the early part of my term, I voted on behalf of my constituents. There was very credible evidence that it would, if all we did was subsidize ethanol in the middle of the country, raise gas prices on both coasts, which would have directly driven up the costs in New York. And I didn't think that would be a good idea for a senator from New York. And what I've been pleased about, and I've had a role in this, was to create a much broader base for ethanol. We now have ethanol plants in New York. And so the idea that you would have only one part of the country and the transportation costs would be quite expensive because of the way that ethanol has to be transported is no longer a factor. So I happily support corn ethanol, all forms of ethanol, research for cellulosic ethanol, biodiesel. I was at a plant today in Newton that is producing biodiesel out of soybean oil and animal fat. And I think it's great that we're at a point now where we are seeing this market grow, and that's what I'm in favor of.